before we start, may I request Ms. Mendoza to lead us in prayer. Amen. Good morning, students. So before you sit down, can you pick up some pieces of paper under your chair? So as I call your name, say present. Miss Katubig, Miss Mendoza, Miss Saratao, Miss Surigao. So I think everyone is present. So as a sort of review, so my question for you guys is, what is assessment? So anybody? Okay, Miss Mendoza, what is assessment? So very good. Assessment is a systematic basis of making inference of a learning and development of the student. So very good, Miss Mendoza. Can you please sit down? So at this time, we will be having our game in relation to our discussion for today. So I request everyone to please stand up and go to the back and put your steps on the line. So the rule of this game is that if someone can answer my question, he or she will be the one to step closer and get the reward. So then don't get worried because your answer is based on your insights about the question I give to you. So number 1. It is to measure the knowledge outcome. So Miss Mendoza, very good, multiple choice. So another question, it is to measure the ability to identify the relationship between a set of similar items. So Miss Cudino, so very good, matching type test. So number 3, it is contained statement that is a student marked as being either what? Okay, Miss Saratao. Very good, true or false test. So last question. May be defined as a series of sentences. So Miss Surigao. So very good, completion type of test. So I think that is our game for today. So thank you for your cooperation and you may now sit down. And now let's proceed to our topic for today. Since we've done discussing about the assessment or the different types of assessment, and now let's apply. So our lesson for today is all about the constructing test items. So before we proceed to our lesson for today, we have here our objectives. So number 1 is identify the different types and ways in constructing test items. So number 2 is to recognize the importance of constructing test items. So number 3, construct the different effective test items such as multiple choice test, matching type test, completion test, and true or false test. And now let's proceed to the ways in constructing test items. So number 1, follow the guidelines in making test items. So in constructing test items, it is important to follow the guidelines in order for us to have or to achieve an effective test item. So number 2, determine the number of test items. So here, we have given a limited time. For instance, in multiple choice, we only have given 60 seconds to answer the question, while in true or false test has also a 30 seconds to answer the question. So let's proceed to number 3, assemble the test items. So assemble or forming a test items is also important. So number 4, write direction. So in writing a direction in test items is very important to avoid conflict towards student or even the examinee. So here we need also to consider that in writing a direction, we need to write it on precise so that the student can easily understand and follow the directions well. So number 5, check the assembled test items. So you already form a test item, so you need to do is to double check to avoid errors. Number 6, make the answer key. In making answer keys, avoid using patterns such as in multiple choice, AAA, BB, BC, CC, or DDD, or in true or false, TTT, FFF, so that the students will not take advantage of it. So let's proceed to number 7. Analyze and improve test items. So here, we need to use our analyzation skills in order for us to create or construct a very precise and effective test items. So let's proceed to number 8. Make the test item final. So we already follow the guidelines, assemble test items, write directions, and here we need to make the test item final so that we can make or create an effective test item. So these are the 8 ways in constructing test items. And now let's proceed to the formats of classroom assessment. So if you're not easy in a classroom setting, when our teacher gives us a couple of quiz without knowing they use this kind of format of assessment so that they can be able to evaluate our learning or even our knowledge of that certain topic. Number 1, multiple choice is used to measure the knowledge outcome. The format of this type of test is that there will be a phrase of question and there will be a set of selection. So in relation to that, multiple choice has its level of questions. So which are applying, analyzing, evaluating, and creating. So let's proceed to number 2. Matching type of test measures the ability, the relationship between a set of similar items. So for example, there will be a column A and column B. So in column A, there will be a question, and the column B, which is the answer of that question. So all you need to do is to find the similar item. Number 3 is completion type of test, defined as a series of sentences in which certain important word or phrases. So like for example, there will be a given statement, and on that statement there will be a blank space, and you need to do is to supply a word on that blank. So let's proceed to number 4. True or false test contains statement that the student mark of being either true or false. So this type of test is that there will be a couple of statements there, and all you need to do is to find if it is true or if it is false. I think that ends with our discussion for today about the topic constructing test item. And now let's proceed to our activity. May I request everyone to please stand up and group yourselves into 4. I think everybody is already within their group. Okay, so the group number 1 will create or construct a multiple choice test item. So the group number 2 will create or construct a matching type of test. So the group number 3 will be the completion type of test. And the last one, group number 4, will construct a true or false test. After that, each group will select their leader and present their works in front. Okay? So thank you everyone for your cooperation. You may now go back to your proper seats. I think everyone now can identify the ways in constructing test items. Very good. So as a sort of evaluation, I have here a checklist, and you are going to check if you learned something new today, and I will give it to you. And we will be having an assignment, so please write this question. If you are tasked to create an effective test item, what would it be and why? So you will write your answer in a one whole sheet of paper, and you will return that during next meeting. Okay, so I think that would be all this morning. So may I request Ms. Mendoza to lead us in prayer. Amen. So goodbye everyone. Class dismissed.